I had a billy goat working on the carriage with me, and I would take the goat for walks, and there'd be a bunch of prostitutes in high heels and bathing suits, and I walked up, and one of them said, "What is that thing you got there?" I said, "That's a trained Doberman Pinscher." And she said, "It is not." And then they got close to him, and I said, "Sick 'em!" And they just started running away, and their shoes were breaking, and the police pulled up and looked at me, looked at the goat, and then just took off. I was an actor, and I lived in Hell's Kitchen. Hell's Kitchen was a dangerous neighborhood, crack and violence. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd see the horses running to the park. Some girl was going by on the carriage, and I asked for a ride, and I jumped on her carriage, and I was bitten by the carriage bug. And I started driving ever since then, and it worked out better than being an actor. My nickname is Monkey Brian. It was May 22nd, 1986. There was a pet shop on 8th Street. Some crack addict stole the monkey and was pawning the monkey in front of the pet shop, and I bought him for $100. Some people, their whole life, they wanted a monkey and a carriage ride, and in 20 minutes, I knocked it out. He was a selling point. And then I had an illegal bed and breakfast business on the east side, 54th and 1st. And my first customer, I was supposed to have, I had Pop-Tarts and instant coffee. And an English woman came in and said, "Will you have fresh butter in the morning?" And I was like, I better show her the monkey. So I opened the door, and the monkey was swinging back and forth. She screamed, "Ah!" And she left. This is it. Now we've got to get a ride. You want a carriage? Hacking a customer is trying to get a customer to take a ride. Some people just jump in, but some people you have to talk them into a ride. You guys want a carriage? You guys want a carriage? You want a carriage? It's usually women pick the carriage. I have an ugly carriage, so I have to sell the ride. Well, I can drop you off at the zoo. It's $50 with tax and tip. We get $60. I'll take you $10 per person, half price, 20 minutes, and I'll drop you off by the zoo. I'll show you where Lady Gaga lives. I'll give you the history of the park. I'll make things up. You won't know the difference. I think it's really important to give people good rides. A lot of guys are burned out, and they include the tip, and they just ignore the customers. I give discounts on the ride, and then I end up getting the same amount with the tip anyhow, because I give such a great tour. The third building on the left is Carnegie Hall. You know how to get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, practice, practice. Even if they speak a little bit of English, I can eke it out in Spanish. You're from Brazil? Cavallo, Patricia. Nombre, Patricia. I'm Brian. Yeah, I guess I am kind of an ambassador. I've been doing this a long time. I've taken people for lots of good rides. This is where I stop and people get engaged. Guys come up to me before the ride and say, "I want to get engaged to my girl." And I have them get off the carriage here and go get engaged.
How many engagements have you seen?
Hundreds. I had a divorce. I had this couple that got divorced on the carriage, and they told me. I was trekking in the jungles of Philippines, and I was lost, and these villagers were eating a dog, and I didn't want to eat it, but then I was so hungry, I got up in the middle of the night, and I was snacking on the puppy. And then I got a job as a dog walker. I was a dog walker in Dakota, where John Lennon lives. I was socializing wolf hybrids, and they asked me what my experience with dogs was, and I didn't tell them that I ate a dog. I love being my own boss. I don't think I could go work in an office with somebody telling me what to do. I don't sit at a desk job. I've got a lot of freedom. I can't think of anybody who's been driving longer than me. I think I've been driving the longest, 34 years. A lot of the drivers from a long time ago are all gone. Now it's turned into a business. The price of the carriage has gone up and it's become very competitive. We don't get along. He's called the Snake. He'll steal a ride from you. There's a lot of competition, especially down here on Fifth Avenue. Sometimes there's disputes between drivers, but whenever something goes down and a horse, you're having a problem, even if you hate the guy next to you, you always stick together, you always help each other. That's like an unwritten law. You see over there, there's a big gap, and the wheel could go down in it, so just on the other side of the street. There is no guarantee. You can have a horse that's 100%, but he doesn't like steam coming out of the streets, or he won't go over metal plates. And then you can't keep the horse. You've always got to stay by the horse's head, because the horse can spook, and you never know. You never can trust a horse. This horse's legal name is Sheila, but I call her Patricia. Every time I say her name, I give her a carrot. Her ears perk up. Patricia. I said her name, I gotta give her a carrot. The carrots are frozen, but she'll still eat them. Last week I had 4 Chinese people. At the end of the ride, I give them a carrot to give to the horse. I gave them each carrots, and all 4 of them were eating the carrots. She's beautiful, but she's a little bit of a bitch. When you try and pet her, she's like, you know, I give people carrots to give to the horse to create a positive mental image because we need the public on our side, you know, with this animal rights people that are against us. We get taunted by people. They say it's too cold for the horses, and they say, you should take that horse off the street. But recently, since de Blasio has been trying to get rid of us, a lot of people are in our support. A lot of them say, fuck de Blasio.
Fuck de Blasio.
Fuck de Blasio. Say it again.
Fuck de Blasio.
See what I told you? There's a lot of people in support of us. I think I'm carrying on a history, you know, of carriage drivers who are, you know, we're like an icon in the city. The animal rights people say that carriage rides are so 19th century, but so what? It's charming. It's great. It's great to have connection with the past. If they got rid of horse and carriages in New York, it would be a terrible thing. I really care about the business. We're an integral part of New York, you know, and that's why I feel it's important to give people the best ride possible. I do my part out there in Central Park South by giving a good ride. I love it. Later on, I'll show you where Lady Gaga lives. She dressed up with meat. Remember she wore meat? She wore a dress out of meat. That's pretty amazing.